So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how to get a link or a URL to a Smartsheet timeline that you've created in the Smartsheet system into Starflow so that users can access this timeline directly from the Starflow job rather than having to search for a URL that you may have sent them via email. So the first thing, of course, is that you need to be logged into the Smartsheet system, and you need to be have your timeline on the screen. Of course, you have full edit access to the timeline, but what we're going to be doing is sending a read-only link to other members of the team. So what you need to do is go over to the right-hand side of the screen here, and there's a little publish icon which you need to click, and that will open up some publish options. The one you need to look at is this option over here to get a link, which is a read-only link. When you click that, a publish link or a read-only link is created for you. Now, for the purposes of Starflow, the procedure is as follows. You need to click on this preview link over here, and that will open up a special read-only version of your timeline with a read-only URL. Now, what happens next will depend on whether you are using a PC or a Mac, as the procedure is slightly different. So I'm going to show you firstly from the perspective of a Mac user. So if you're a Mac user, you will have your read-only URL available, just like I explained a few seconds ago. And what you need to do is go over to the left-hand side of the URL, where you'll see, in this case, there's a little section that says Smartsheet Inc., and you need to click and drag that onto your desktop. And what that's going to do is going to create a special file, which is a link to this particular timeline. You're then going to take this link and you're going to drag and drop it into the Starflow job. I suggest the timeline folder because it is there and it might as well be used, but you can effectively drag and drop this link into any folder that you like. Now, I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to cancel that. Don't forget that if the job isn't showing on your screen, you can, of course, drag and drop the file into the Starflow Dropbox and go through the wizard that prompts you for the client and the job and the folder. So switching back to the PC. For PC users, the process is slightly simpler because if you're a PC user, all you need to do is drag and drop the URL directly into the timeline folder in the Starflow job. So you need to click in the address bar, make sure that the entire URL is selected, of course, and then just simply drag and drop the URL into the timeline folder. That will bring up the standard Starflow document upload dialog box. I suggest you use this option here to send after upload, because that's going to upload the file and bring up the send dialog box so that you can quickly send the link to members of the team. So once I do that, the standard Starflow send dialog box appears. So I've gone ahead and done that. I have my internal person that I'm sending it to, a subject, and any sort of text that you want to send, and click send. Now, of course, that person will receive a notification. The idea, of course, is that the URL sits within the Starflow job, so that any user can double-click on this URL, anyone that has access to the job, and they will be able to see a read-only version of your timeline. So let me go ahead and do that. Double-click on the URL or the document, and the timeline will open up in the browser. So the person to whom you've sent the notification will receive the typical Starflow alert or notification mail, and there will be a link to the URL document that you've uploaded into Starflow. Now, in this particular case of a URL, the download is pretty much irrelevant, but these two options over here, click and go to, will of course take the user to the document, and they can just double click on it in Starflow and launch the web their web browser, and the timeline that you've sent them. But just as a tip, if you receive one of these sort of emails, if you actually click on the edit link, it's not going to edit the timeline, but in fact it does launch the browser and the file and take you directly to the related Smartsheet timeline.